this evil dispensation in Nigeria, an Igbo man cannot be head of police, cannot be an IG. An Igbo man cannot be chief of army staff. An Igbo man cannot be a chief of air staff. An Igbo man cannot be head of EFCC. An Igbo man cannot be head of DSS. An Igbo man cannot be a president. What Igbo do now? Wait. Many have been asking questions like, why is it that Tinubu is not ready to let go of the current IG of police? Why is the current IG of police himself, Egbetokun? Why is he refusing to retire after he has met the age condition, that police service commission set that once you reach 60 you must resign. Once you get to 35 years of service, you must resign. He has met all this. Why is he not resigning? Guys, here is this. I want to read some tweets to you. But before I read this tweet, permit me, I want to play back the tape. I remember during interview, this guy, Deji Adeyanju, Barrister Deji, the human rights lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, he said, the reason Tinubu is not letting this guy go, right, is because of he's a tribal bigot. But let me go take you straight to what some persons are saying on Twitter. This person said, Lord Justice, he said, Frank Umba Igbo is next in rank after Egbetokun Yoruba. That is why Tinubu rushed to the National Assembly to enact a kangaroo act to illegally keep his king in office as IG of police, even after he's attained both 60 years of age and 35 years of service. Because the next person in rank is an Igbo man, Frank Umba. So Tinubu doesn't want that. So he rushed to National Assembly to go and enact a kangaroo law. Do you understand? In order to keep this guy in office. Okay, let me read another tweet to you guys. This person read, he said, Frank Umba is next in rank after Egbetokun. That is why Tinubu, that is why Tinubu, after Egbetokun, but that is why Tinubu rushed to National Assembly to enact a kangaroo. I think I've read this one before, please. The other person said, I don't know him personally, but I have observed his policy work after the years. If you ask me, I think Frank Umba is an officer and a gentleman. Another person wrote, Inspector General of Police, the next in rank is Frank Umba, DIG Southeast. Now you know the IG has refused to resign after clocking 60 years of age. After clocking 60 years of age, 35 years of service for more than 35 years, Igbo man can never be IG in this dispensation. You see the problem we have in Nigeria. An Igbo man is next. Please, I beg you, watch this video to the end. It's loaded. Now, an Igbo man is next. They try to keep Igbo man aside. So it means under this evil dispensation in Nigeria, an Igbo man cannot be head of police, cannot be an IG. An Igbo man cannot be chief of army staff. An Igbo man cannot be a chief of air staff. An Igbo man cannot be head of EFCC. An Igbo man cannot be head of DSS. An Igbo man cannot be a president. What Igbo do now? Wait. Okay. Look at this other headline. He said Remi Tinubu boasts she stopped EFCC from arresting Madashiru Obasa over multi-billion naira fraud. That is the speaker that was sacked in Lagos. Now, Remi Tinubu came out to boast that she is the one. Guys, you cannot see that in Nigeria. The law, like Derek Faroti have said, and many others, the law does not work for the poor, for the rich rather. The law they are making, it only work for the poor, not for the rich. Once you are rich, you are a flesser, you have the power, you can upturn, you can go against constitution. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, constitution, the case of Egbetokun police, is not Tinubu, the president, to allow the constitution to work because he want to keep his kinsmen there. You understand? His tribal man there, he went to manipulate the constitution. Can you guys see how will the country move forward? Let me read this other headline. He said, just in, the Police Service Commission has ordered the immediate retirement of all senior officers who have either exceeded 35 years in service or are 60 years of age. You understand? So now the Agbetoku, like I've said, is up to 60 years. Is up to 60 years, and also he has spent 35 years of service. Look at this other headline. Tinubu direct Lagos lawmakers to reinstate EP Speaker Obasa amid office standoff, scheduled meeting with legislator. Now the question is, if he did Obasa really misappropriated money as they claim, why did Tinubu now allow the law to work, allow the lawmakers to work? So it means he is the one who determine, like we have been saying, who is to be the speaker and not to be the speaker, who is to be who and not to be who in the country. I think that's with me. Just the way his wife now and him, they are the one who decide who EFCC should go after and not to go after. This other airline reads, Chidi Kalu is a renowned lawyer. Lambast Nigeria Police, IG. He says he will enforce retirement for officers above 60. He, despite exceeding retirement age himself. What a shame. What a shame. Guys, what I can tell you at this junction, there is this Igbophobia in Nigeria, like somebody have stated. There is this evil meeting that say, and there's a memo according to, so I'm going to give you the video to watch now, you understand? That is right there at the villa. That an Igbo man can never attain a sensitive position in Nigeria. Please, just listen to this short interview of Showore. I beg you, as you watch this interview, make sure you share it in all the platforms. I'm not an Igbo, but Nigeria belongs to us all. We will allow these guys, you understand, to, to silence and, to pocket the country in their pocket like this. No, we won't allow them. Please help me like the video so our Facebook and YouTube can recommend that. Please share as much as you can. Thanks and God bless you. Let's listen to Showore now.
Man, why are you saying this about your people?
I don't know why people just say that because you're being a Yoruba person doesn't take my humanity away. But you must understand that this is not just about landmark. There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they're holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi Kanu's perpetual detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. You said 120,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually, using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. And everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos where they are.
Yes, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interest, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's easier for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessmen. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulates people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. This is easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate. Owned
by being an Igbo man.
Of course, that's the truth.
The inability of the previous government, Buhari, Jonathan, to remove fuel subsidy, and the ability of this current government, the president, to remove that subsidy, doesn't it show some kind of political will to do right?
It's not the political. It's not political will.
Where others fear to tread,
no, it's not political will. See, why people like Tinubu are dangerous is that they have been in this game for a long time. And I said they are very dangerous people because they have been involved in everything. They were in the opposition. They have been in government before. So they understand the weakness of the Nigerian people. That was why the day he removed subsidy was when nobody was watching. The day everybody was watching but not paying attention, which was the day of his inauguration. And I won't be surprised that him falling on that day was programmed to distract attention. So they created content for people. Oh, Tinubu just fell, Yakata. But he did the worst thing that could happen to the economy of the people.
Was it only content? Because fuel immediately jumped from...
No, I'm not saying that. A lot of people paid more attention to the fact that he fell.
But the president have stated it several times that one of the reasons why he would ensure he works for the generality of the good of the people, it's because he fought the military, he risked his life, and he fought for this democracy we're enjoying.
You're saying that they didn't fight the military because they have the same characteristics. In fact, what they are doing now is worse than what the military was doing.
What are those things?
Yes. This idea of jailing children after protests, jailing people for speaking against government officials. This is what the Decree 2 and Decree 4 people were doing.
So are you saying that the president administration is worse than the military?
It is worse than the military. The military did not even jail children during their own time.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
they didn't charge children for trips.
Okay, before we travel far from the fuel subsidy something, one last question. I want us to play some kind of role reversal. If you were the president, assuming you won the election, what would you have done differently regarding the fuel subsidy issue?
So, what I would have done differently is, first, I am aware of the people who are stealing fuel subsidy money. I know them. I know everybody that is involved. And do you know how I know? I covered fuel subsidy, fuel matters like nobody else under Sahara Reporters. I've seen all of them till today. So I would have clamped down on them immediately. And secondly, I would have fixed the refineries and created newer, smaller refineries. Because refineries are very easy to put together.
Like modular refineries?
Yes, even the ones, you can build a refinery within a year, they'll bring the parts to put it together. And the reason is simple. Even as Nigeria is unable to fix its own refineries, and they're lying about fixing the ones they
I was coming to that.
Niger Delta militants are able to produce diesel in this country in large quantities.
They still produce kerosene. In fact, they bragged, there was a time they said that the kerosene that they're selling in most filling stations are supplied by them.
Yes. So if Niger Delta militants can be doing the old style biology class distillation, how is it that the federal government cannot do the same thing? But don't forget that these same people that claim that they can't build refineries went and built refinery in Ivory Coast. Yes, under Jonathan. And we are importing fuel from there. There's a refinery in Niger. Niger doesn't even have oil. They're selling fuel to Nigeria. How is that Nigeria cannot build refineries? Even the Dangote refinery, the famous famed Dangote, was built how many years ago? It was after occupying Nigeria that he built his refinery. Brewer is going to finish his refinery very soon. All these guys benefited from forex provided by Nigerian government to build their refinery. These guys have already spent 2 years almost in power.
Yes, almost.
Because by February of 2027, election is here. So we have about, almost 2 years to go.
2026, electioneering starts.
In fact, they have started. They've started electioneering already, more poverty, so that people will come, they beg for them to at least give small. And then they will now preserve everything towards the end at their usual palliatives.
With all that the president is doing?
What has he done? Make you tell me now. Where is it that you have found the jobs that they promised they will create? Where have you found the roads that they said the money they will save from removal of fuel subsidy they will use to build it? Where have you found the hospital that they built? The only people who are doing well as the president are his people. He's the one who bought a new jet in the midst of this starvation and poverty. He's the one who bought a new Escalade, providing jobs for their own boys. That's not the issue.
So you don't believe in the tax reform policy?
What is the tax reform going to do?
It's going to collect
more for the same people. I've already talked about tax before. that what you need is to increase not taxes but expand the tax base. And I know this because Nigeria has the lowest tax base in West Africa, and it's because the rich people are not paying taxes. But now you want to collect more from the poor, which was something exported from Lagos. They exported this whole tax collection thing from Lagos. You know where it's going to end? You're going to have private tax collectors introduced nationally.
You just sound like the president is somebody who already understands the character of Nigerians, and he plays with the character. Is that what you're trying to say? That the president is deliberate with how he deals with Nigerians?
Most people don't know Tinubu as much as I know him. And it was because when we were doing pro-democracy, we knew them. We knew how they came to the pro-democracy movement and stylishly hijacked it with Nadeko and ran away from the country. Left those of us who really were doing the struggle to be endangered. Why they all disappeared?
Oh, you think that was deliberate?
It was.
So are you also of the school of thought that perhaps he was working with Abacha somehow? Because people are insinuating that there was a backyard movement, and that's why you have people like Bagulu working in this administration.
They were close to all the politicians at that time, the SDP people, they were all close. Even Abiola.
So that means he was betrayed in Adeko at that time?
No, they were all part of it. Even Abiola cabinet, it was the cabinet Abiola wanted to use that he gave to Abacha. Foolishly, I would say that any day, thinking that Abacha will hand over power to him. But there's nowhere in the world that people get power and hand it over to anybody. Not even a father will hand over power to their child except they are dying and they have no reason to keep on to power. So it's the same thing with all of them. Do you know how you understand what the game they were playing? When Abacha died, all these politicians went to meet with Abubakar. They did not ask after Abiola. Yes, we were in Lagos waiting for Abiola to be released. We saw them meeting with Abubakar. And when Abubakar took over power and handed over power, they were his greatest friends.
There is a deliberate impoverishment of the
Nigerian people. That is what, what did removal of fuel subsidy do to you?
Governors are getting more money.
Yes. Governors are not poor. They are these people who are already rich who are getting more money. Are you getting
okay?
Yes.
Okay.
The rich is getting richer. The poor people are getting poorer.
So should we hold the president responsible for the fact that governors are getting more money yet that money doesn't trickle down? Those money don't trickle down to the poor people.
Do you know what has happened under the